Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video, and I'm drinking water for once instead of tea. So anyway, trying to be healthy. But yeah, this is obviously part two of who I would love to invest into Inter, or some of my dreams for Inter Milan as a fan of Italian football generally. Because of my patterns, I thought I would make this video today, although technically it's a new day, but yeah, I wanted to make it on Monday because it's like Milan Mondays. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it wherever you are. I'll probably go to sleep before I make part three because I'm sort of running out of ideas or being a bit tired. But yeah, here goes. As I say, I hope you enjoy it, and I'd love to hear what you think about these videos. As ever, I can't think of much else to say, so I'm going to crack on with the list of some ideas. And here goes. So number 11, a while back, a company called Investcorp, which I think is the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Bayran company, which is, I suppose, Bayran's, however you pronounce it, equivalent of the Citigroup, or the P.I.F or whatever. It's their equivalent. So I'm not sure how big they are, but they were going to buy AC Milan for $1 billion, I think it was, or something like that. And in the end, Redbird bought AC Milan. So I'm not sure why the owners at the time decided to go for Redbird instead of Investcorp. I'm not sure what the deal was with that, but I hope it works out, obviously, as a fan of Italian football generally. But yeah, I thought it would be interesting if Investcorp, even though I'm a fan of Italian football generally, I think it would be interesting. Well, I'd love for them to invest in an Italian team, so I wonder if they could swap it for the other Milan and have like a minority share. If so many people do invest, maybe they wouldn't own it out. Well, if so many people do invest, they wouldn't own it outright, I suppose. But or maybe they would own it outright, and all the other dreams would just be pipe dreams. But yeah, I think it would be cool if they did have some investment at least, and maybe if they did a really good job, they could say to AC Milan, this is what we could have done. But as a fan of Italian football generally, I still hope that AC Milan does well as well with their investors and investments. But yeah, I think it would be interesting. Again, going back to my alliterations and things like that, or use of alliterations, Investcorp to invest in Inter Milan. Number 12, also international companies, as I was mentioning before, as well as big tech and companies like that. And I was thinking, like, as I mentioned in my AC Milan videos, I think it'd be cool if companies like McDonald's and Mars, which I think owns M&Ms and other companies, other chocolate brands, sorry, I think it would be cool if they invested into like building like spaces or places for sport, in this case football, in Milan. M&M's obviously is both M and M, which I think would be quite interesting for Inter and AC Milan to play to build football opportunities for young people in Milan, hopefully, who could develop their game, which I hope will benefit both AC and Inter Milan. As a fan of Italian football generally, I know I'm mad, but number 13, I'd love to hear from Inter Milan fans about like why the symbol and the logo, possibly the nickname of Inter Milan, is the snakes or snake. I think that's quite strange, but yeah, I'd love to hear the story behind that, as well as other stories to do with Inter Milan, as well as AC Milan. Number 14, again, I think it'd be great if as many international companies and the biggest possible companies invested as much as possible into the club, which I hope will build success, and the club will be able to build on that for the for winning trophies on the pitch as well as like the charitable work the club can do as well. So on winning on and off the pitch, if you like. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Number 15. Obviously, the whole point of this, as I say, is to win trophies, and I think it'd be great to see, as part of that, the best possible players. I think that obviously that would help to win trophies, and see that those sorts of players in Serie A, the world's best players, as well as coaches and managers, as I often say, I think would be pretty cool for the good of Italian football. Although I think it is a difficult balance between getting good overseas players and at the same time getting good developing young Italian players as well. So I hope they will give, as I often mention, I would love for all Italian teams to have at least 3 under 21 players in all possible senior games, even like people playing football in the park. But as I mentioned before, I think you've got to be careful not to injure some of the younger players so they don't get injuries, hopefully, so that it doesn't ruin their opportunities to develop in the future. So that's a difficult balance to get. I suppose it is a bit of a risk, obviously, when you play football, to try and avoid injuries. But like where I went to train before, sometimes they did like no slide tackles in training, so that you don't get too many injuries. Like you try and be a bit careful how you tackle your teammates in training, so you don't get too many injuries. Maybe they could do stuff like that sometimes, but I suppose you could argue that they would need to learn how to be tougher as well. So I suppose it is a difficult balancing act. Number 16, I would love to see what sort of companies could invest into Inter Milan and what sort of companies would be interested in how they could be attracted, like how world's biggest companies, especially tech companies, would be interested in possibly even learning about football or soccer or whatever they would call it. A lot of them are from America, so I suppose they would call it soccer. But what would attract them to invest? And maybe the people who invest in Inter Milan could have like a network where they work to, as they invest together, they also build a stronger network together, so that they not only invest in Inter Milan but also like do more trading with each other, networking and events and things like that. So while they're running the club, perhaps. So that could be something that is an extra incentive. But I also hope the Milan Council and politicians and those involved in politics in Milan, especially, offer the best possible tax deals, as well as Italy generally, actually, I suppose, as I often say. Number 17, it would be hard for me to imagine these things actually coming true, and I suppose I should appreciate them if they happen in the future. Yeah, it would be quite interesting, and I'd love to be known as the person who came up with the ideas, or at least one of the people who came up with the ideas that benefited Italian clubs like Inter Milan as well, Celtic. So using my dyslexic imagination, but yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool and showcasing what dyslexics can do, and it'd be great for my fellow dyslexics and other neurodiverse people to showcase what we can do with our creativity and ideas and imaginations and things like that. But yeah, and also like different people sharing their ideas just generally. To see how far it would go, and hopefully it would exceed my imaginations, even perhaps if that's possible. So that'd be pretty cool, of course. 18, as I often say, I would love for Inter Milan to also do like football for good and like improve the world. Number 19, as I said before as well, I think that hopefully once some people invest or sponsor the club, hopefully that will encourage other people to do so as their brand value increases, and also as part of their PR and things like that. Maybe if Inter fans bought from companies that invest in the club, it would encourage more people to invest, obviously, because they're going to want to see a return. And also maybe the club itself on its website and its YouTube channels and its YouTube channel and its social media, and maybe even the fan channels as well, or all linked social media or whatnot, could have a list of the top sponsors and supporters and investors into the club, and talk about what they've contributed to the club in the future as well. And number 20, again, I'd love to hear like ways to encourage young people in Milan to play football even more, and to improve their diets, and to discuss ways to develop younger players, develop the youth in Milan to improve opportunities, like how they can practice and things like that. So anyway, I hope this video made some sense and wasn't too cringeworthy. And I know I do have a habit of repeating ideas, so please forgive me for that. But I'd love to read in the comment section what your thoughts are or ideas. I hope it's a little bit different to some other videos. I know I'm sort of covering similar sort of topics, if not the same, but because I'm talking about different investors, I hope people find my dyslexic, quirky imagination interesting, and a potential competition, like a friendly competition between Inter and AC Milan, where like the people who invest in the other club will like sort of respectively sort of have a friendly rivalry rather than a sort of bitter or or anim, or having too much animosity. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the right word. But anyway, yeah, as I say, I'd love to hear what you think, especially my fellow neurodiverse people or fans of Italian football or fans of football generally. But as ever, all comments welcome, and I'm out. Peace and love.